This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, and from past 3.5 years, I'm working as a DevOps engineer. Okay, and rest of the things I have worked in different technologies like Informatica, Power Center, MDM, Python, all those things in here. So this would be your first class, guys. I mean, so even we are into the initial stages. We are trying to start with the DevOps classes actually. So this would be a kind of a first class, even for all other people as well. Okay. So any questions or any concerns, any things you want to come up before starting the class, guys, for today?
Yeah, yes, Shyam. Actually, what are the topics you are going to cover on this Azure DevOps class? Mainly, I'm looking for this Terraform and Kubernetes.
Okay. So as part of, Chandra, as part
Yeah,
of the contents in here, we'll try to cover, yes, Terraform will be covered, Kubernetes will be covered, your Docker will be covered, and your ARM template and your
mhm.
CI/CD pipelines, your YAML, the kind of scripting part will be covered. Your
Okay.
your Azure DevOps organizations, like where your Azure boards will be coming up, and your GitHub, yeah, your
Yeah.
GitHub, setting up your repository GitHub, and writing multiple commands. So how can you clone your things to from your GitHub to my local machine, and from how you do you push your code from local machine to your GitHub back in again, and the
Okay.
difference between like multiple commands, like a git fetch and git pull. So what are the differences between these things are? Generally all these are, it's a interview point of questions. So that the reason being, I would like to cover all this particular part in here. And the branching strategy, which is very very important. And
Mhm.
we would like to cover the lot of other tools like Visual Studio Code, which we generally use in your real-time perspective to clone the things from your Azure repository or your GitHub repository. So how do you download your WinSFP tools, or how do you download your Azure CLIs? So using CLI
Mhm.
command line, we try to create the resources. Using your portal level, we try to create the resources. So all those things. So I have my content with me. So I'll try to paste that in the chat level in here. So just go through the content once.
Yeah, okay. Will you provide any like real-time project for us?
Yeah, see here what we are doing in here is like everything will be in practical. It's like a
Hmm.
real-time project level only. The flow what we go will be in like a
Okay.
real-time project level only. Okay.
No.
So I'll try to explain you what you have in your, how do you create an account in here. So what is Active Directory, what is subscription, all these things in here. And as I told you, creating of resources using your
Hmm.
portal, and all those things will be created. Your Kubernetes services, your resource group, your ACR, and using your Azure CLI, we try to re-implement the same thing using your command lines, but not using a portal anymore. And we'll try to
Okay.
have a basic concept on your PowerShell scripting in here, and finally your templates, which is most important, and how you do in your real-time perspective. It's the most automated way in creating the resource. To reach your ARM template, we have to cover your Azure CLI, your PowerShell, and your feeding of your resources using your portal. So in all the three ways, portal level, CLI level, and PowerShell level, all the three ways we are trying to create the same thing. What is that? We are trying to create the resources. But
No.
why we're trying to all this way? Because we have to understand your ARM template. So to get this particular part, we're trying to cover all those things in here. So GitHub, as I told you, branching strategy, DevOps starter, your DevOps organization. This is the actual one. It contains, the Azure boards, and the creating of your organizations, very very important, and project level, and usage of code in here. How do you create your reduction of YAML pipelines? How can we create all those things in here? And we cover Docker. We'll try to see all this, the step-by-step processing. How can you create your image? How can you delete an image? What's the porting technique concept we have in here? How can you create your own image using a Docker file concept? This is very, very important, Docker file concept. And how can you push your image to my container registries in here? And finally, we'll try to do in here everything manually, guys, first thing, because I would like to understand everybody, you people, to understand the manual process. So each by step, okay, this is what we have to do, this is what we have to do. And how can you do it in manual level? Everything using your command lines. But finally, you have to jump into my automated way, that using your CI/CD pipelines. So whatever you do it, the manual part within your Docker, everything will be done finally in your CI/CD, because this is your automated process. So once you run it, it'll try to create your image, it'll try to push your ACR, pull the image from ACR, and that you'll try to deploy that in your web applications in here. So it's a single, with the 5 minutes of time, it happens everything. But what's actually happening internally? So how the process is going on? So what is step-by-step steps what's happening internally? To understand that, we'll try to do everything manually first. So pulling an image from Docker Hub, or running the image in container, or creating your own image Docker file, connecting to ACR from Docker, pushing the image to ACR from Docker. So all those things we'll try to do it manually. Finally, we end with the CI/CD pipelines with respect to your Docker in here. Similarly, Kubernetes. So how can you connect your Kubernetes environment? How can you get the pod information, nodes information? So you have to understand the architecture of your Kubernetes. Then only probably you'll be understanding, the environment of all those things in here. Okay. So then next, finally, we again end up with what? We end up with your CI/CD pipelines. So creating of your namespaces, introduction of Helm charts, deploying your pod and Kubernetes environment using again your CI/CD pipelines in here. So we have a lot much go, guys. So Kubernetes, and finally Terraform. So Terraform is the alternative way for your ARM template, what we have done. The way of processing your Terraform is totally different when compared to my ARM template. So this is, Terraform is not within your Azure. ARM is one of the concept in your Azure cloud, but Terraform is not part of your Azure. It's a totally third party, where it's been owned by Hashi Corporation, Hashi Corp. This is a company, third party company, which is handling your Terraform. So Terraform is a common platform where it can create the resources in any one of the cloud. It's not only like with respect to your Azure. With respect to AWS, Google, whatever, wherever you go, you can go and use your Terraform and try to create the resources within your cloud provider. I mean, within your own cloud, and like you will say, whatever it is, it can be Azure, it can be your AWS, it can be Google, it can be anything. So it's a Terraform we'll try to cover in here. And finally, we'll try to end up with your preparation resume. Okay, what are also responsibility you have to put in your resume, how the things will happen in your real-time perspective, all those things in here. Okay, so I'm trying to copy this one and I'm trying to paste in the chat box. So just go through.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Sean. Thanks.
Sure. So it's in the chat box now, guys. Go ahead and copy that particular part.
Yeah.
So anything else, guys?
Sir, can we cover Jenkins?
Yeah, Jenkins. Yeah, I'll cover that as well. So generally, Jenkins is not really required, because the CI/CD pipelines what we
Yeah,
have within
CI/CD.
level, yeah, within Azure level what we have, does the same thing. So the main Azure Devops, the main concept in here is like, Azure don't want to go outside of your box. That means they don't want to use any third party tool again anymore, because that is the reason being everything has been included within your Azure level. The CI/CD pipelines, all those things within Azure level to do the same thing, deployment part. But yes, for few companies they'll ask me, even though you have Azure DevOps knowledge, experience, they are also asking for your Jenkins as well. So I will try to look into the Jenkins part as well. We try to cover that even, because I'm getting a lot many request to have the Jenkins to be added in the list in here. So we'll try to cover that towards the last of the sessions. Don't worry about that.
Sure, thanks.
So any other questions, guys?
Pipelines will be added in this topic, sir.
Python scripting. Sorry, what is that?
Pipelines, sir. In Azure DevOps, pipelines will be there also, no, sir?
Yes, of course. The CI/CD is nothing but the pipeline, Sakina. The continuous integration pipeline, continuous delivery pipeline. Okay, that is the
Yes,
same.
sir. After the training, project will be given, sir, or training only?
No, you're asking for the access or something like that?
No, sir. After the training, some of the trainers will give the projects only, no, sir, to do on Azure DevOps.
Okay, you're asking
In this training,
project.
after any projects will be there after the training, I'm asking.
Currently we do not provide any project, Akila, but we'll check on that as well.
Okay, sir. It is
And
based on
Shyam,
Java.NET.
.NET, mostly on .NET.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Sham, what is this Ansible? Like we are going to learn this topic Ansible here.
No, that is not covered, Chandra. Who is that? I'm sorry.
Sandeep.
Sandeep. Yeah, Ansible
Yeah.
is not covered. So those are, you know, that's all those are out of box, as I told you. So
So like
again, yeah, because
so with Ansible, what we are going to do, like one of my colleague, like he's working with the Ansible. So I don't know like what is that. So like can you brief can you brief on that if it's possible?
yeah, we can do that, but not now because Ansible is out of the syllabus as of now. Okay, so
Okay,
so
sure.
covering that it's not possible. But at the same time, we do discuss about what is Ansible, the basic idea in Ansible, what we have, what we do with that particular part. Okay, we'll do that for
Okay,
you later.
okay. Thank you.
Sure. Because we have lot many things. That's the reason being we have DevOps in here. DevOps is nothing but, you know, for each and every part of your project, for planning, for your releasing, or for your monitoring, for your testing, every part of the project can be handled by multiple things. For monitoring tools, we have Splunk, we have the reporting tools, or we have Nagios, we have. So lot many of the tools we have. For testing, we have Selenium, we have JUnit. So, similarly for, CI/CD pipelines, we have Jenkins. So for operating system, we have Kubernetes, we have Dockers. So we have lot many options available outside your Azure. But being a single person, nobody can learn all those things. I'll show you one small, kind of, one second. Let me open my PPT. I'll show you one slide where it will show you the different things, what is involved in here.
Okay.
Yeah, see here, this particular part. So see here you can see for coding, you can see Git, you have Jira, you have Confluence. For building, you have Maven, you have SBT. So testing, SBT, JUnit. So the releases, so deployment, you have CodeShip, you have a Jenkins. For monitoring, Nagios, Splunk, Datadog, Kubernetes, Ansible. So operating for the same thing, Chef, and we had Docker. So a lot many things are there outside. I mean, outside your AWS, sorry, outside your Azure in here. But being a single person to do the similar kind of stuff, I can't learn all the things in here. Correct? For that reason, being Azure came up the same the DevOps kind of stuff where they can handle each and every part of the project within your Azure level itself. That's the beauty. That's the advantage of going to the DevOps in here. So, but still, if you want, we can go and learn the things in here. So we have lot many, all these are the multiple tools which are supporting each and every part of your project. All the things, coding, your building, your testing, your releasing, deployment, your monitoring, everything can be done within your, within your Azure level in here. That's the
Okay.
advantage of using your DevOps.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's move ahead then. Okay then guys, let's get started for today. So let's start with a very small generic piece what we have in here. Your nothing but SDLC. Can anybody tell me what is the full form of SDLC?
software development
Software
life.
Software
development life
development life
cycle.
cycle.
Exactly, software development life cycle. So do we have anybody here who's from not from non-IT background? Non-IT, who is from IT, non-IT background from here, who do not know what is the life cycle at all? Right. So let's go with so people who may or may not. Let me try to go with small examples in here so that you can understand from the scratch level in here. So if anybody already knows it, they can brush up things and again in our problem. So what is software development life cycle? So it's like a kind of a life cycle, you know, when you go with respect to any project, any technology, wherever you go in your IT sector. So what is that? So before jumping into your IT sector directly, let me go with a generalized example. Suppose I want to build a car. I want to build a car. So you think that you are an automobile engineer and you're working for a particular client. So client said, okay, I want to build a car. I want to build a new car and I want to make my production happen and I want to do my business. Very good. So being a engineer, what generally you go with now? So simply you take the word build a car and start building the car of your own specifications, or do you have anything in here? So generally what we do, the very first step is like when somebody tells you some kind of work, when they'll be asked you, okay, please go and do this particular work, you have to ask in return some questions like, what do you want? Okay, you are trying to ask, you're trying to build a car, that's okay. What kind of car you want to build it? Is it like, you know, it's a hatchback? Is it like a sedan car? Or is it like a SUV you want to build? Or how, I mean, it's like a 7-seater, 5-seater. So what do you want? So you're trying to gather the requirements. What you're doing here, you're trying to gather the requirements in here. So without gathering the requirements, without having the pinpoint steps of your requirement, how your client is expecting, we cannot go ahead. Because, you know, at one point of time, client may came back and say that this is what we am expecting. I'm expecting something else. And till now, what you have done, everything is gone. It's a time of it. It's waste of time. Correct? So you have to gather the pinpoint of things what you want to go before starting the development part. So similarly, when you want to go for a journey, so you have to plan each and every pinpoint. So where do you go, where do you how do you go, where do you fill in your tanks, I mean for the fuel, where do you stay, where do you stop to have your dinner or lunch. So it is a pinpoint kind of, you know, details information you have to go so that you can have a smooth journey. Similarly here as well. So before starting building something else, you know, we have to gather the total each and every pinpoint requirements of the particular stuff what you're trying to start with. Next, okay, I have gathered all my requirements. I'm good to go with, and now I will start developing the car, or I will start building the car in here. Start building the car. So once you start building the car and complete it, and also complete it, now you will be saying that, okay, I'm done with my, you know, the car has been built successfully and I have done my own testing. So you being, since you are the developer, or you are the, you know, who built the car, you can test the car, right? By, is it like your, how much fast it can go, maximum speed it can go, so how much mileage it is giving, or you know, what is when I'm hitting on my brake, is it my vehicle has been stopping or not, when I'm hitting on my accelerator button is moving forward or not, when I'm going by the reverse gear is going back or not. Each and pinpoint of your specifications what you have developed, you will test on your own. But is it like after you saying that I'm completed, is it like, you know, or the directly the car will be placed in the showroom? No. Who gave you the work? Your client gave you the work, asking you, this is the what I want to build. I want to build a car. So he is the one, because he is the producer, right? Because he is trying to, what are the things you require to build a car, each and every pinpoint of steps, that particular material what you got, that been purchased by your client, not by you, right? So client has to approve that, yes, my car is looking good. So I just expected, it is as per my expectations. Then you can go ahead and place that in your showroom. So similarly here, how can you make sure the car looking good in here? So what your client will do, he has his own testers. So there will be some testing team in here tester team where they'll go ahead and they drive the car and they see all the things in here, how the performance and what the mileage is providing, how the maximum speed is going. Again, the same thing they will do, what you have done. And finally, if the results, what they came out is as per the expectations, then your client will say, yes, it's good now. Go ahead and place your car within your showroom. So place the car in showroom for my business. I'll start my business in here. So these are the general steps, right from right from the gathering of the requirement, right from the scratch level till you place the car in the showroom in here. So in between gathering the requirements, building of the car, testing of the car, and finally placing of the car in the showroom. So this is the generic example where you can see for every part in your life, right? When you want to go and you're trying to do something on your own, this is what you do as the totally correct. The similar case now, let me jump into the new IT sector side or new software kind of side in here. So this particular part, what I'm trying to discuss, as I told you, it's not only related to with respect to your Azure or respect to any other things in you. Whatever the project it can be a Python coding, or it can be some other banking project, it can be your insurance project, whatever the things it is. This kind of 4 steps are mandatory to you have to follow. So coming to my software side, now I want to what? I want to build a messenger. So you have your WhatsApp messenger, you have your Telegram messenger. Similar to that, you want to build a messenger. So client came to, okay, now I want to build a messenger. So again, what you do? You go ahead and gather the requirements. Okay. So generally, the look and feel of your WhatsApp will be green in color. Your Telegram will be blue in color. Similarly, what kind of color you want to have for your messenger? So what are the specifications you want to have? What are features you want to have with respect to your messenger in here? So all the each and every pinpoint, the things you should be gathered from your client. And next, what you do? You start building the code, or I would say start developing the code in here, and finally you completed the development part as well. So you'll be doing your own testing. Okay, you download the application in your mobile phone and you download application in your friend's mobile phone, and both will try to chat to each other, whether I'm trying to say hi in here, whether I'm the particular value, I mean the content what you mentioned in here within your mobile phone is going to the other person or not. So the back end person, so both can each able to talk to each other or not, but they are able to do a phone call or not. So they are able to block to each other or not. So all the features what you're trying to have, they'll try to complete in here. So it's like a dummy testing which is done from your side, but actually, as I told you, there will be your testing team who has to do your actual testing. So this is the people who like to do your actual testing in here. So these are the people who are coming from a client side, and these people will try to test your application what you have developed. So each and every pinpoint of the application they develop, and they'll come up with the results. And based upon the results, if the client said yes, it's looking good, now okay, go ahead and place it in my Play Store, where people can go and download my messenger and start using the things in here. So fifth one, go ahead. Sorry, fourth one, go ahead and place it in the Play Store, so that you can go ahead and download your application and you can start installing it and start using the particular thing as well. Okay, so this is the common thing. So this is now this is related to your automobiling part, this is relating to your software part. So wherever you go in your lifetime, these 4 things are normal. So these are the main things where you generally follow with respect to my software development life cycle. So sometimes what happens, sometimes here or here the testing team may say that okay, I don't see some performance in here. So there is some sound is coming from engine, or when I'm clicking on the brake the vehicle is not stopping immediately. It's taking long time to stop it. So some issues with my brake in here, or some issues with my brake drum in here. Can you please look into that? In that case, what happens? The tester team may push your code back to my developer, saying that there's some issue with my things. So again, you go back to the development code in here, you look where the issue is in, and you try to you try to come up with your issue, you resolve the issue, and again my testing team will start testing it in here. So there will be loop going on between the developer and tester unless your tester is totally satisfied, unless the results what you got of the testing team is totally good in here. So it's like a loop between developer and tester. So these two people will be talking to each other lot many times unless and until everything has been perfect. Similar here as well. Your development part, your testing team will come and say, okay, this particular option is not working well. When I click on this one, and it's showing, but it's not working. So there's something wrong happened at the back end. Can you please look into this again? So what again? Developer look into the code. Okay, there's a small bug in here. Let me complete that. Fix the issue, fix the bug in here. Okay, I'm done with that. Can you please test it again? So tester will start testing it again. And yes, now it's looking good. Now, okay, everything is looking good now. Final result. The total is good. Place it in your Play Store finally. So it's like, this is the kind of process generally we follow with respect to any software development life cycle. It's not only about the software, I would say, it's wherever you go in your lifetime, within your career, wherever you go, you can find such kind of similar process to be followed in on all cases in here. Okay. So any questions up to this level, guys? Software development life cycle, very small concept and a straightforward one. Right. So let me jump into the other one, the other small concept, nothing but your application tires. So what is this one? So application tires is the one, here when I say tire, it's nothing but it's the, the number of branches or number of components are available within your application level. So for example, if you take the application of your YouTube, for example, so here I can go, right? I can open my, I can open my YouTube in here. So when I open my YouTube, I can see lot many things coming up in here. So my videos are there, all those things in here. So I can go and click on any one of my video and I can play my videos in here and everything in here. So what is this particular part in here is nothing but my front end. So front end, so it is nothing but my front screen. So if I do not see this particular options in here, how do I know which option is where it is? Correct? If it's a totally blank in here, then I don't see my home, I don't see explore, I don't see my subscription, I don't see my library in here, or I don't see my DevOps or something in here, cloud in here. So all these things I will not be able to see in here. But if you want to access your application, the very first step what you require is your front screen, or I would say front end in here. So without your front end, you cannot go ahead and we cannot do anything with respect to any application in here. So by seeing the options from your front end, what I'll do, I can go ahead and I can click on any one of the option. So once I do that, what will happen? So if you go to the YouTube, the same example, YouTube, when I click on one of the video, after a few seconds, it starts playing. Correct? It starts playing. So what actually happened at the back end? So whatever the things you have done, the requested from front end, what you have done, we have requested requested some video. So what is the request you have sent, that will be sent into my backend in here. Backend, or I would say it's a database where all your videos, your music files, your images, all are placed at my backend, where you will not be having access directly. Maybe you cannot go and delete your, the data, the videos from there, of some other videos are there, because you can go and do your videos. You can go and delete your videos. You can edit your videos. That's okay. But we cannot make the things happen. You cannot make any changes to the videos of others. So this particular database is purely, for respect to the authorized users like your admins, your developers, all those people. But end users like us, general customers like us, what we can do using the front end, we can have a place a request in here, and based upon the request, it goes to my database, and again, it gives me my response back saying that, okay, this is what I have got. This is what I got. This is the response. So what is the response? The response is nothing but my video. This is what I got. So this is the response from my database. Response back, and this is again pushed to my front end. So in that, this is what I got from my database part as well. So go ahead, and what I got a response that will be played in my front end image. That means I'm able to play my video on my front screen itself. So this is a request sent to my database, and this is my response. So overall, what I want to say is like, for every application, you have mainly two things. One is your front end, or front screen in here, or web server, and at the back end, you have a database for sure. Database, or I would say it's a kind of a storage system. It kind of storage system what we have in here. Okay. So now we are able to understand that we have your front end and we have a back end for sure. Good. When I'm saying that, when I'm trying to click on any one of the video in the front end, the request is being pushed to my database. So is it like my request I'll be pushing directly to my database like this, or do we have someone in between my front end and my back end? Do we have someone in between to handle my request in here? Yes, we do have one people, and that's called as your app server, application server in between. So the third one, what we have is we have your application server. So application server is the one who is trying to handle your request. So the request what you mentioned your front end, that will push to my application server. Application server receives the request from my front end and pushes that back to my database. And now database will respond back saying that this is what I got as a response. Okay, no problem. What is the response I got it? Again, that will be provided to whom? To my same application server in here. So my application server. So application server is again responsible to push the code or to push the things what you have to my front screen. This is what is happening here. So this is my database. So I got my response back from my database, from database response to my application server, and application server push my things to my front end again in here. This is how it happens, guys. Okay, so for every application, mainly you have three things. What is that? Your front end, your web server, your app server, and your back end, your databases in here. Okay, so these are the things. One is your web server or your front end, your app server, where it's like a middle, where it's trying to handle your response and your request in here, and finally my back end. That's nothing but my storage system in here, or my database in where it contains all the related things what I have in here, right? So this is very small basic just basic things what we are trying to learn with respect to my application, generally what we have with respect to each and every application in here. So any questions up to this level, guys, this particular part? Okay. So next, we have something like called models of cloud. So what is this one? So cloud in here, as I told you earlier, so for running an application, so you have lot many things to be handled at the back end. Or else, let me go with a small example in here. So generally, everybody has a mobile phones, right? And everybody will have your own plans in here. Suppose think that I purchased my new mobile phone and I purchased my new SIM card in here from coming from one of my service provider. So the very first thing is like what I have done is like I went on and asked for something like, okay, I want like unlimited calls, unlimited calls only. So yes, do we have any offer or do we have such a kind of plan with you? Yes, I do have a plan, and that plan is nothing but it costs me around like 200 rupees per month. And rest of the things what you do, like if you send any message or if you're trying to do usage any internet mobile data, you'll be charged for sure. That's okay, not a problem. I want to have only like unlimited calls only, mostly that will be helpful for me. Then yes, we do have a plan like 200 rupees per month in here. Similarly, okay, somebody says that no, it's not like only I want unlimited calls. I also need more things in here. So along with my unlimited calls, I require, I require like 100 SMS per day, free. That's okay. Even we have such a kind of plan in here. Just pay 350 rupees per month. That's the we have a plan, but this is what you have to pay in here. Similarly, we have, okay, apart from your unlimited calls and your 100 of free in here, I would like to have more things. So that's what, around like 1.5 GB of data every day, data per day again. So yes, we do have for this as well. Just pay 600 rupees per month in here. So what is these are nothing but different plans we have with respect to our service telecom service provider in here. So you can choose your own plan what you want in here. You can go with your, or as per your own things what you want, you can go with things in here. Similar case here within the cloud also we have multiple plans. So it's not like when you talk about cloud, everything will be handled in the cloud. Of course, it will be handled, but we have multiple plans in here. So everybody will not have the same scenario. Everybody will not go, will not require the same scenario in here. Few people may require this particular plan. Few people may go with opt for this particular plan, or few people may opt for only this particular plan in here. So based upon the budget, based upon the requirement, they choose the respective plans what they want to have. Similarly, now coming to my cloud level, we also have such kind of plans in here. But instead of say plans, I would say models. So instead of say plan, I would say model. The different kind. This is a different kind of model. This is a different kind of model, and this is a different kind of model in here. This is a third kind of model what I have in here. So what are different models you have in here? So to get to understand, first of all, let's try to understand what are different things you require to run an application. So in general, what do you require to run an application? So can anybody list out? Just now we covered few things, right? Can anybody tell me what are the basic things we require to run an application?
Front end
Like
side.
Mainly
Kubernetes,
server.
Server
yeah,
Servers you require.
sorry,
was
Mainly server.
exactly, very good. Server we require. What else?
And then OS on it.
Okay,
And then
operating
any
system.
any application what you want to run on it.
Very good. Your apps.
Storage.
Yes, yeah, I'm looking for that. Storage. Good.
Okay.
So servers, OS, applications, storage, and so we require your network as well, because whatever the application you store, you run in a virtual machine or you run in some web application. So every machine what you do where you deploy your application, it should have a unique identity to identify that. So that doesn't mean it should be the IP address. So networking. So networking is most important in here. Okay, your servers, your operating system, app services, and this is not like the net your mission what you're trying to deploy, your application is not your physical network, so it's not a physical machine, it's a virtual. So virtualization is also required in here. So, and what else? Storage, your virtualization, your app. When you go with the application, lot many subscribe people will be subscribe your application. Lot maybe people, you will be using your application here. So that much data will be generated, correct? So this data. So all these things, it's required to general things you may get when you're trying to require things in here. At the same time, now you're saying that I'm trying to install an application. What is this application here? Suppose, okay, probably it may be your .NET application at the back end, or it may be a Python application at the back end where it's running in here. So to have that application to run within your virtual machine or within your system where you're trying to deploy the things, it has to understand the code, what is running it within your machine in here, correct? To understand the code, the respect to the supported tools have to be installed within my virtualization in here, virtual machine here. For that reason being, I need to understand what kind of code it's been running in here. That's called as your runtime in here, runtime. So all these things, the supporting tools, your data, your virtualization, networking, storage, all these things are required to have your application run successfully. Now, within all this particular list, what you have, is it like, do you require everything? Is it like you're trying to push to the cloud everything, or you're trying to have only few things? This is something like this plans what you have. Do you want everything? 1.5 GB of data along with my SMS and unlimited calls all together. It's a very full package where you have to pay more. Only few of the options you want to go with within the cloud level or within your telecom provider, the amount will be reduced. More lesser, more low amount you have in here. Similarly, here as well, okay, I'm saying that I want to go with only few things. What is that? I want like to go with my storage system, my networking, my virtualization, and my servers. I would like my cloud to maintain only these things, and rest of the things like my operating system. Chandrasekhar, can you please mute? There's a disturbance from your side. Yeah, thank you. I would like to maintain my operating system, application, my storage, not storage, these two, my data runtime, all this thing on my own. So when you want to push only these things to cloud and rest of the options what you have, you're trying to handle on your own, no problem. We have such a plan with us. Cloud says that I have a plan, I have a mod to maintain only these four things. I have a plan with me. So similar to what you have planned in here, the exact same thing what you have, the kind of plan here as well. Among the whole list of things what you need, if you want to push only these things to cloud, you want your cloud to maintain only these four things, and rest of the things you want to maintain on your own. That's your responsible. I do not bother at all. But cloud says that yes, I can handle only four things. If you want, I can do that. And such kind of things, such kind of plan, you called as infrastructure as a service. Okay, so here you have called the first plan or the first model of the cloud is called as infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as as a service. So this is the called as infrastructure as a service, or people may call us IaaS in here. So this particular plan, what it will do, it will try to handle only few things of your, the main total list of the things what you want to run your application here. Similarly, so a few people say that, oh, no. Along with this particular part, what I have, I would like to add more because I want to push even more to my cloud level in here. So what do you want to push more? I want to push my, my operating system. I want to push my runtime stack as well. Okay, no problem. You can add your operating system in here and you can add your runtime in here as well. Not a problem for me. I can maintain even these two. But in such a scenario, I will go with my another plan. I can't go with my infrastructure as a service plan in here or model in here, because this model includes the service only for these things in here. But if you want to go to more level, then the things will be different. So since you want to have the platform related stuff as well, so this is a platform, right? Because operating system, without operating system or without your runtime supporting tools, how can your network, how can your application will run? So you are trying to add platform as well. For that reason being, this particular plan or model is been called as PaaS. PaaS means nothing but it's a platform as a service. Platform as a service in here. Let me go with service like this. Okay. So platform as a service in here. Okay, let me go. No problem. Core service. So this is the second plan. So few people say that no, not only this one, I would like to go to my total list what I have. I don't want to maintain anything from my side in here. I want to go in my data, my application, even this one also I want you to maintain. Yes, no problem. I can maintain on behalf of you, even this as well. But such a kind of plan is called as my SaaS. Nothing but some software as a service. Software as a service. So since you have multiple, I can call it a 200 plan, 350 rupees plan, 600 month plan. So based upon the plan what you have in here, you have a multiple different plans you have in here. The multiple options you will be included with respect to the plan what you choose. Similar to that here as well, with respect to my each service, each model what you have in here, with respect to services will be included automatically in here. So the SaaS is the thing, you're trying to provide each and every pinpoint of things. You want everything to be maintained by your cloud only. So only what you do is like, you have to provide your code, because based upon your code only application will be running. But to have to run that particular code, what is the runtime, supporting tools what you require, the virtualization, the operating system, the networking, storage, each and every other pinpoints I'll be taking care from your cloud perspective. Such a plan is called as SaaS, and this will be, they'll be charged like very high in here, because everything has been handled by in here. As you have higher charges, more services, high charge. Similar the same case in here. When you have less services, the charge will be a little bit less. So SaaS will be having a higher charge, PaaS will be a little bit down, and IaaS will be more down in here. So that's how we have in here. So infrastructure as a service, your PaaS, platform as a service, and your software as a service in here. The similar thing you can find with respect to my, the same slide. Let me pull that. Yeah. Clouds models. See, this is in general, your networking, your storage, your server, virtualization, OS or middleware, runtime, data and application. These are all the things that are required to have to manage or to have your application done successfully. So if you want to manage on your own everything, then it's up to you. So you can go ahead and you can, purchase different things, and you have to maintain all your things in here. But if you do not want to manage everything on your own, I want to go with, with respect to my cloud in here, then cloud says that I have three services: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and the software as a service in here. Within my infrastructure, among the total list, I can maintain the last four: networking, storage, servers, and my virtualization. This has been managed by my Microsoft, and rest of the things you have to manage by you. So cloud or Microsoft doesn't bother if anything goes wrong with my application, if the application is down, or the not down, like everything happened to my code level in your data runtime, anything what happened between these options, I'm not bothered. Cloud doesn't bother at all, because it's only responsible up to this particular four parts what you have in here. Yes, Chandra, I'll share it. Don't bother. And similarly, you have the platform as a service. So platform as a service, Joe, what's it happening in here? Apart from the four, you're trying to have a little bit more. What is that? Your runtime and your operating system has been added. That means your platform has been added in here. So middleware, your runtime operating system. So since you're increasing the responsibility to cloud more a little bit, for that reason being, this has been comes under a different plan or different model, and that's nothing but your platform as a service in here. So these only two you'll be managed on your own. But apart from that, all other things which require to run your application will be managed by your cloud only. So the cost for this will be less. The cost to my respect to platform as a service will be a little bit more. But finally, coming to my software as a service, here you're trying to provide everything to my Microsoft only, to Azure only. Okay, go ahead and try to maintain everything. What your responsibility is like, only thing is that just try to please provide me the code, because without a code, what the user have, no application will be built, right? So you have to provide the code. I don't know what's your requirement. I don't know what kind of the code you write in here. So please go ahead with the proceed with your code, build your code. Once the code is done, please provide that to us. So we will try to take care of deployment part with respect to my application. We'll try to take care of the data which has been generated due to that application. We'll try to take care of all the things which is required to run your application successfully. So every pinpoint. So in the such a scenario, what happens? We go with your software as a service in here. Okay. So this is the highest model we have with respect to my service part. So most of the applications, like your YouTube or like, the Netflix, all these people will be mostly based upon the software as a service only, because they are handling very huge applications. There may be lot many videos. The storage system may be in, like it's not a 1 TB, 2 TB. It's maybe like 100 TBs, 200 TBs. So very huge storage, because there are lot much videos over there. YouTube, think about how huge it is. So people mostly they want to push everything to the cloud level mostly. Again, based upon the budget, guys. It's not only about the maintaining part, it's purely based on the budget you go with. So it's up to your client where which model you want to choose. Is it like your software as a service, or is it like your platform as a service, or is it like your infrastructure service? As per the budget, as per the requirement, everything comes into picture in here. It's not we who decide which model you have to take it. So that has been decided by your client, because the client is the one who is trying to pay everything on behalf of his app to run his application successfully in cloud. Okay. So that's things we have with respect to different kinds of models of cloud. So I believe you understood what is infrastructure service, platform as a service, and your software as a service in here. So any questions at this level, guys? Models of cloud.
Hello, Shrikant here.
Yes, Shrikant. Yeah, please go ahead.
Does Azure provides all three services, right? So in real time, we are using SaaS services only, or
Yeah, that's what
any other?
we do. Yeah, we can go with SaaS, because anyway, generally,
Mhm.
most of the things will be in SaaS only, Shrikant, in real time
Okay,
perspective. Yeah,
okay.
that's again, as I told you, it's up to client, but generally, 99.99% people will go with SaaS, most of the time.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
Sure. Thank you. So next we have uh, uh, any other questions, guys? If you have, you can come up. Right. So next we have types of cloud, guys. So this one, it contains mainly three things. One is your private cloud. Second thing is your public cloud. And finally, you have your hybrid cloud. So what is the difference between types of clouds and models of clouds in here? See, the model of cloud is something like up to what level you want to run the application with respect to your, with respect to your cloud level in here. So, okay, up to for this application, I want to go only these services to my cloud level. Rest of the things I would like to maintain on my own. That's the models. But types of cloud in here is like once your application is built, To maintain up to what level, that's okay. That's a model. But after application has been built, total maybe half you may be maintained by you, second half may be maintained by a cloud. The total you'll be maintained by a cloud only. So whatever the model you take, that's okay. Once application is built and running, where do you deploy that? Where do you deploy that application in here? So that's the type of cloud in here. For example, if you take YouTube. So what is YouTube? It's a generic usage for public usage. When you trying to click on your YouTube link, automatically my videos will been opened up, and I can see lot many videos coming up over there. So do you require any authentication for that? Do you require any authorization for that? Do you need any user ID or password for that? No, not at all, right? So this is purely for my public usage. When I click on this YouTube, that's it. Automatically I can go and I can get my things up running in here. Similarly, now I want to go and I want to say something like I want to pay my property tax, for example. So what I'll go to my website saying that okay, property tax. I want to pay my property tax. Yeah, property tax payment from JHMC. So I can see now what few links in here. This is the website. This is the government website in here, or I would say this is a government application which is running in here. When I click on my link in here, it's directly taking to some page where I need to I need to provide some PTN number in here, PTN number, so that I can submit it. I can get my things details successfully. So do I require any credentials for this one to have this, to access this particular website or to access this application from your government side? Not required. Or I want to see what is the current home loan rate of interest in in SBI, for example. So home loan current rate in SBI. When you click on this particular link in here, so it can go up and it's opening my links in here. So this is also one of the application available which has been owned by your SBI client. So to access this particular things, I have personal, I see lot many options I have in here. To access all those things, do I need any user ID password? Did I enter any user ID password as of now? No, not at all. So all these particular applications which are purely for my general public, where it doesn't require any kind of credentials in here or any other website. Okay, I want to search for my schools, school school at or school in Hyderabad, suppose something like this. So I can see CBS schools in Hyderabad. You can see Orchid International. So when I click on this, I'm able to open this particular website. And this is a kind of a it's a kind of application which has been running in here. So this application maybe internally they may be built using your .NET, maybe Java. I don't know what it is for. So, but I'm able to easily access my things in here without any credentials in here. So all such kind of applications which are running on your website without any credentials, such kind of applications will be placed under my public. So public cloud is the one where it has been accessed by all of my public in here. So it's not been restricted. It's been accessed by all of the people. No credentials are required in here. So when you want to have such applications running for generic public, then you can place your things within your public cloud in here. So this is the one where application can be accessed by public, general public. So it's for general usage. It's for open for all. It's open book kind of stuff. So when you want to have such kind of things happen, then your application should be should be deployed in your public cloud in here. So public cloud is the main scenario. That's the main thing what we have in there's the like when I want people to access it automatically. I want people to access for free without any cost. I want to let my people go and access my website, see the things what we have, and based upon that they can follow whatever they want to go later on. So that's nothing but my public cloud in here. So coming to my private cloud, it's purely opposite. So the private, so the name itself, it's like exclusive. It's a special case in here, right? So when I say private cloud, it's it's not for general public usage. It's purely for your authorized peoples in here. For example, you have a government site. You have government. So government, suppose you went on, you purchase a new house. So what you do after purchasing a new house? Obviously, you go ahead and you try to register on your name, right? You'll be trying to register on your name. So if you do not register, then still it will be in your old owner name only, which is not really correct. So you have to register on your name. So when you go to the register office and register on your name, what will happen over there? Your registrar or some other clerk will try to open an application. So we'll try to open an application in here where they try to enter all the details of yours. They try to enter all the details of yours in here. Enter all details of yours. So this application, what your clerk is trying to access on behalf of your government to enter all the details during your registration of your property, this application, is it accessible by all the public? Can you and go and search for your things, what you have in there? Can you go and open the documentation part? Can you see what is your current owner name for your your adjacent flat or adjacent house in here? We can't see all those things because this application can be accessible only by my government officials but not by general public. So this kind of things, when you specifically for not for normal public, specifically for exclusively for a particular purpose, only my authorized peoples can access it. Such kind of applications can be maintained or can be deployed in your private cloud in here. Okay, or else the banking sector, when you go with bank. So now you saw it's a common, it's like a common website. You saw the home loans. Similarly, I took some home loan. While seeing that website, I went to my bank and I opt for home loan in here. So when you take to the home loan, you will be having lot many details in here. Look, what is your name, what's your PAN card number, what is your Aadhaar number, what is the address, property address. So who is the ex-owner, who is the current owner, what is the sale date you have. Each and every pinpoint of the property you will be having with your bank. So how do they save it? Using an application. So application here, they try to save all the detailed information of the customer. Detailed information of the customer in here. So this application is only for what? Only for my bank officials, but not for my general public. So general public cannot go and look into the home loan details of other customers in here for sure. You can't go with that particular part, right? So such a kind of applications what you have, they'll be deployed in my private cloud in here. Deployed in the private cloud, but not in the public cloud for sure. Or the other thing, your CBI, very confidential informations, where they can track all the illegal activities kind of information, your criminal list. So all those things, such kind of, even that particular part, so they'll be having the separate applications for that. So even such kind of things which is very highly confidential, which is not to be very secure, not to be leaked for my general public, such kind of applications what you're trying to go with, you're trying to go to private cloud. That's the difference between your public and your private cloud in here, guys. Okay, so any questions up to this level, private and public? Right. So in tomorrow's class, what I'll do, I will try to differentiate between, I'll try to write the differences between a private cloud and public cloud, and also we'll see what is you mean by your hybrid cloud in here. So once this particular part is done, we'll jump into your new concept, the actual concept, like the account creation of your Azure. How do you create your account in Azure in here? But before going to creation of Azure, we would like to understand few things, something like, Active Directory. What is Active Directory in here? What do you mean by, subscriptions in here, the types of subscriptions what you have in here, all those things we'll try to see. So once you complete that particular part, then I will try to jump into my creation of my Azure account. So once you go with the creation of Azure account, we have to understand what are the details you require to create your Azure account in Azure. So all those things, pinpoint steps, each and everything we'll try to discuss in your next classes. Okay. So that's all guys I have for today. So any questions guys? If any. Right then. So I believe like everybody has Ravi number with you, the VRIT Solutions Institute number. So please, if you want any questions with respect to your videos or respect to any other fee details, all those things, the payment of fees, all those things, you can contact Ravi on the same, so that you can be in sync. Everybody can be in same page in here. Okay. Thank you guys, then we'll meet again tomorrow same time with more concepts on your hybrid cloud and all other things in there. Yes, hey Chandrasekhar.
Thanks, Shyam.
Thank you, Shekhar. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Have a
Thanks,
great day.
Shyam.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Shyam. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.